All right, so we're going to do another type of percent change problem in this video, and these are what your problems for today's assignment will be like. So it says find the result when 50 is increased by 30%, or how about if it's decreased by 30%? Okay, and these are not too bad, and I'm going to show you two ways to do it so that you have multiple ways to go about it. One way we could do it is using our percent proportion. So again, that's part. That's like, I'm sorry, that doesn't look like part at all. Let me rewrite that a little bit. Part. I'm just going to rewrite the whole thing. I'm sorry. Here, okay. Part over whole equals percent over 100. Okay, so we're finding the result when 50 is increased by 30 or decreased by 30%. All right, and so we might have to manipulate some of these words. So when I look at part and I look at whole, let's think of maybe the word original. Okay, so instead of thinking of the word whole, think of original, because our original number that we're starting with is 50. Okay, so that's going to go in for this part, the denominator of this ratio right here. And the part is the 30% of it that we're trying to find to start this problem. So I don't know what the part is, so I'm going to go x over 50 equals, we're trying to figure out 30% of it, so 30 over 100. And then if we set our cross products equal, okay, we have 100 x equals, see, 50 times 30 would be 1500. And I would just divide by 100 on both sides. Divide by 100 to solve for x, my unknown, and I get 15. Okay, so a lot of people, I think, okay, cool, we're done. Unfortunately, though, we are not done. Okay, the question is asking when 50 is increased by 30%. Well, if we put 15 as our answer, obviously it hasn't increased at all, right? What this 15 represents is 15 is 30% of 50. Now, since it's increased by that 30% of 50, if we increase it, that means we have to add this 15 on. So for the increase, for the percent increase, I just have my 50, and I have to add that 30% of the original. Sorry, this cat is being annoying right now. All right, 50 plus, and then 15, and that's, whoops, 65. So when it's increased by 30%, we get the result of 65. So when it's decreased by 30%, all right, we don't really have to do much more work. We already figured out what 30% of 50 is. It's 15. Again, I apologize that my handwriting isn't getting very good on this yet. But I would just take 50 and subtract that 30% since it decreased. So subtract 15, which is 35. So when it's increased by 30%, we get 65, and when it's decreased by 30%, we get 35.